previous session. So right now we're going to go through all the things we have for today's live. So if you're joining the live, you just let me know where you're connecting from, just your name, where you're connecting from, and so that we can get started. Your name and where you're connecting from, let me know. Okay, so today we have quite a lot to consider. I did a draft. So we're going to be looking at freelancing in tech services. We're going to be looking at if you need to freelance in tech. So there are a few things. So you have services. We're going to discuss services. We will talk about your clients. We'll talk about your different income streams. So if you're just joining me, let me know where you're connecting from, just your name, where you're connecting from. Don't forget to share this to others so that they can participate in this live session. So we intend to hold these live sessions maybe every day to consider as many things, several areas that are possible if you need to break into tech, if you need to practical skill sets that you need. And of course, like yesterday, we discussed the business of tech. Most people don't get to achieve a lot in tech because they don't know how to combine their skill set and also the business side of it. So today we're going to be looking at freelancing in tech. Okay, Cyber Ismaila from Abuja, thank you very much for joining. You could share to others. Today we're going to be discussing services, we're going to be discussing clients, we're going to be discussing income streams. My name is Victor, and I'm going to be your anchor for this particular live. In subsequent lives, we're going to be having like 2-3 persons, mentors on the live to discuss several issues, several items, several things that might be bothering people that want to break into tech or people that want to advance their career in tech. I was speaking to one of my ex-students. He's in Russia. He's running a PhD in cybersecurity. For the past 3 years, he's trying to conclude his program. Within the week, I'm going to bring him on this live. We're going to discuss PhD, master's, scholarship. We're going to be discussing freelancing. We're going to be discussing quite a lot. So I have an agenda for today, which is freelancing in tech, services, clients, and of course, income stream. Now, quite a lot of persons find it difficult to actually make the best out of their skills. And yes, it's because most of the times you don't have the right mentorship, you don't have the right guide, and it's always very, very difficult for a lot of people. That's why for the past 3 years, I normally say this in most of my life, I took my time to record quite a lot as regards tech skills, whether it's in data, whether it's in cloud, whether it's in cybersecurity, whether it's in digital marketing, whether it's in software development, in all of these areas. One thing with tech is that tech skills are very, very complementary. So if you want to turn your skill set into paid opportunities, so there are several paid opportunities. Yesterday we discussed about value, that if you want to get into tech, you must be sure that you're ready to provide value. If you cannot provide value or you don't have history of providing value, it becomes very, very difficult for you to actually break into tech. So today, like I said, we're going to look at services, clients, and income. So you can let me know your name, tell me where you're connecting from, and so that we can ride on. Now, this session is going to be broken down into several parts. The first one, it's going to be my own freelance experience consulting in tech for the past about 2 decades. Then I'm going to tell you different core areas. Welcome from, thank you from connecting. You're connecting from Lagos. Welcome. Now, I'm going to share my experience, and I'm going to also look at top 5 freelance skill set. Like in the live stream yesterday, we discussed that you need to have a long-term plan. You also need to have a short-term plan in terms of skill set, in terms of revenue stream. Because one thing is, you might decide to say, okay, I want to go into cybersecurity, or I want to go into AI, I want to go into cloud, I want to go into... Some of these skill sets are not entry level. So the point is, most of these skill sets also need you to dedicate the next 6 months, need you to dedicate the next 1 year, to dedicate the next 1 year, 6 months for you to become valuable, for you to be able to provide value. So while you're pursuing that particular long-term goal, you must ensure that you have something doing in terms of what can provide value to you, what can keep you going, what can keep you provide income stream for you. So we're going to discuss 5 freelance opportunities. We're going to look at, for each of them, we're going to consider the long-term goal, then the short-term goal that you can have for each of these freelance categories. Because I can bet you, if you say you want to go into cloud, it's something that can take you the next 6 months to 1 year. So what's going to happen within that 6 months to 1 year? What are you going to be doing? What kind of jobs can you be working on? What kind of certification can you be working on? What kind of skill set? What kind of things are you going to be improving upon? What kind of low-hanging fruits can you be working on within that space of time? That's what's going to help and ensure that you don't have burnout. So we'll look at those concrete opportunities in those 5 areas. Then I'm also going to discuss how to find clients. How do you find clients? Most people find it difficult finding clients. So you have a lot of clients, and I tell people most of the times I tend to reject tasks, reject jobs, reject stuff, because if you're in the freelance economy, if you're in the tech economy, you understand that if you collect a job from somebody, if you collect a gig from somebody, most of the times you might have a timeline. You want to ensure that you can deliver. Chidi Samson, welcome. Let us know where you're connecting from. Then I will let you know how to find clients, which kind of platforms you can use for that. How do you even start small? How do you also build your own platform? Because most of the times you might be looking at a very big platform. You can also create your own while you work on acceptance in bigger platforms. How do you network? What are the kind of strategies? Then I'm also going to look at multiple streams, because in tech, if you want to be successful, you must understand and look at how you can make money from that skill set. That's what's going to keep you going. That's what's going to keep you doing what you're doing over and over again. So we're going to have some Q&A session. We have a recap, and we call it a day. On this channel, I have over 20 training series playlist that I've done for the past 2-3 years, right? For the past 2-3 years. So you can check the playlist, and once we concretize most of the things that we've talked about, you can get learning. We also have free 30 days challenge, like we call them, that have been going on in web, in cloud, in digital marketing, in cybersecurity, in data and IoT. We have that running, right? Okay, so like I said, we're going to look at freelance experience. We're going to look at freelance platforms. We're going to look at how to find clients. We're going to look at multiple streams of income. Then we'll do a Q&A session. Okay, my name is Victor. If you check the channel, check the About Us, you get to know a little bit about me. As you engage in these sessions, as the time goes on, we get to know ourselves better. Now, let me tell you something about one of my very first freelance experience is sometime around 2000 and let's say 2007, 2008. That's about, let's say, 16, 17 years ago. It's a platform called Freelancer.com. Then you also have, Freelancer.com, then Upwork. Now, you also have platforms that are local. Now, let me bring out some lessons when it comes to you maybe getting clients, or what I know when it comes to freelance platforms, or when it comes to freelancing online. Now, what you want to do, you want to decide which kind of approach you want to use. Do you want to go quantity, or do you want to go quality? So you can decide to say, okay, I want to engage, maybe let's say I'm a programmer, or I'm a software engineer, or maybe you're a data analyst, or you're a cybersecurity engineer, whatever field you're into or you intend to go into. The point is going to be, you can decide to say, okay, I want to go quality. So I just want to have only 2 or 3 clients in a month. I just want to have only 2 clients in a month. Or I want to have a long-term engagement with a client that is going to have recurring work. That's one approach, and that's one way to look at it. Then another way you can look at it is you can say, okay, I want to go quantity. That's to say, I want to target small businesses or large scale enterprises that want to give me freelance work, and it's going to be just small piecemeal, let's say $50 or $100 and I have so many of them and I can piggyback on them. Or I can also use the strategy of getting people, mentoring them, and pushing this work to them. That's two approach you're going to look at when you're coming to the digital economy. Now you have to decide from day one what your approach is. Now I'm going to advise, if you're just getting started, most of your skill sets are going to be low hanging fruit. We are going to consider them when we start looking at the different freelance opportunities, because your kind of skill set is going to be, let's say, I want to create a small business website, or I want to do research for a particular company, I want to do the analysis, I want to do their dashboard. Or let's say you are a digital marketer, I want to do digital marketing for a client, I want to help them make sales, I want to help them do SEO. Or let's say you're a virtual assistant, I want to help a particular client manage maybe his project, manage his tasks, do some kind of stuff for the client that's going to help the client, like a secretary, a digital secretary. That's what you call a virtual assistant. Or let's say you are a graphic designer or a UIX designer, you want to do those designs for the clients. Now, if you are starting out, that is going to be the kind of task you want to be doing till you build a lot of competence, till you build a portfolio of clients. So you have a clientele, you have a list of clients that will be patronizing you. Now, but if you are experienced, you don't want to have so many clients in a month. You just want to have one or two clients that will pay you well, and you're looking at clients that can engage you for a longer time. Like I said, if you're just beginning, you're 1 year, 2 year old, you're just new in the game, you can use the quantity approach to get a lot of experience. You want to learn how to manage your clients, you want to learn how to bill. I'm going to talk about those things. Then once you've matured within the next 1 or 2 years, you can now start targeting clients that can engage you for a longer time. If you're new on the call, you can don't forget, and also share this to as many that you might think that will be interested in our topic for today. Our topic for today is freelancing in tech. We're going to look at services, we're going to be looking at clients, and we're going to be looking at several income streams. You can let me know your name in the comment section and where you're connecting from. And I also said we're going to be looking at some freelance experience, top freelance site opportunities, then where do you get your clients, how do you build credibility, how do you create multiple stream of income? Because in tech, if you don't understand how different ways you can monetize your skill set, you're just going to be stuck. Then we're going to look at some Q&A session. Okay, so like I said, one of the first thing you want to do is to deliver quality, even if the payment is small, because the way it works is that if someone says, okay, build a script for me, build a website for me, now if the person is satisfied, the person is going to come back again. Like today I got a call from a client that we did something for like 2019, that should be like 6 years ago. We worked for him just freelance. So this money made a call again and said, okay, we want to run some ads for our campaigns for November, for December. So we got some details from him. I now said, okay, that's to say that if we have the details from you, we can create a strategy, we can do an invoice, and we can now start rendering the service. So if the client is satisfied, the client will always come back, and the client will always refer others to you. So even when the pay is small, especially when you're just starting, you want to make sure that you deliver quality. Deliver something that will always make the client to be back. Another thing you want to do is to collect testimonials. So we call it social proof. Social proof. So if you are learning, you can type the items I am communicating to you on the comment section. The first thing I said is deliver quality even if the payment is small. The second thing I'm saying is collect testimonials and collect them early. Don't wait. If you finish delivering finish delivering a service to a client, don't wait till after 2 months, after 3 months. Once you're done, you've handed over, the client is satisfied, the client wants to start using the item, ask for testimonial. And what do you call testimonial? Testimonial is testimony, proof, social proof. The point is going to be that Somebody else wants to use your service. The person is going to see that you have rendered this service to Mr. A, then the person will not have that proof that you can deliver that service. Yesterday in the call, I said that people are not interested, or sponsors are not interested in somebody that is saying, I can do something, or I will be able to do something. A lot of people are actually looking for somebody that have done something. So there's two things, and I'm going to keep stressing this across all the live sessions I'm going to be having, because in tech these days, you find somebody, you say he's a software engineer, tell him to show you 3 softwares he has built or 3 web applications that he has built that the client is using. There's nothing. So no client is going to engage you if you don't have social proof, except the client just want to give you a trial. And when somebody is giving you a trial, the pay is always going to be lower. But when somebody is engaging you based on the past work you've done, then you cannot command a particular fee. But if you don't have social proof, it becomes difficult to convince a client that he or she should use your service. So I normally tell my mentees, I tell my students, I said, once you're learning a skill, one of the first set of things you want to be doing is to be building your portfolio as you learn. On Saturday, we're going to have a session either 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. where we're going to discuss creating online portfolio. We would have considered that today, but we'll consider that on Saturday when we're going to have a fuller house. So make sure you like the channel so that once we go live or we schedule the live, you can be aware. So you want to consider, how do you create some kind of portfolio which is social proof, so that when somebody is trying to look up you, the person understands that, okay, this guy, this lady is going to deliver the service. A lot of people contact me not because they know me, not because they've seen me or the services, just because of the social proof of the things they've seen online. So when somebody sees, it's just like some clients will say, okay, I want you to do let's say marketing for me. And all we just do is just share, let's say 10 digital marketing clients to the person, and the person is convinced. The person is talking about, okay, how do we start? What's going to be the fee? Somebody says, okay, I want somebody to analyze data for me. I want somebody to do a research for me and the rest. All you just to do is to provide testimonials or provide proof of, let's say, 10 items that you have done. Somebody says, okay, please build a website for me, build a web application for me. What we will normally do is just send a list of 10 to like 20 items that we've done. That helps you get your clients fast. So number one is deliver quality, even if the payment is small. Collect testimonials and collect them early. Then stay consistent. So you might not be getting your client very, very frequently, but the time is going to come, you're going to be the one running away from your client because you will not be able to cope. And that's where you now organizing your freelance gig becomes now more profitable, because you can now set up a team, right? Then once you have your tax or you have your gigs, then you can now share those gigs and you become more profitable. Now, your first freelance gig is not about the money. I tell my students a lot of this. No matter the student I'm mentoring, I will tell you the very first set of your 3, 4, 5 skill, 6 gigs that you're going to be working on, it's not for the money. It's for your social proof. It's for your testimonials. Because the more social proof you have, the more validation you've gotten. So your first freelance gig is not about the money. It's about building momentum and credibility, right? Someone should type that in the comment section. So your first freelance gig is not about the money. It's about you just building momentum and credibility. If you say you're a data analyst, your first 2, 3, 4, 5 gigs you're going to be working on, it's not about the money. Just cover your cost. It's like your school fees. Get those tags, deliver them, you've gotten 5 past clients. In coming sessions, I'm going to dedicate a particular session where I'm going to talk about internship. So after our freelance, building our portfolio, I'm also going to now talk about what's it called, internships. That's to say maybe on Monday or Tuesday, depending how my schedule permits me. So because if you want to gain internship, even myself with my over 20 years doing tech, Just I think 3 days ago I was driving home. I just thought about something. I just said, okay, I saw something. I saw a signpost, and I told my wife. I said, okay, I need to take an internship. And what's an internship? An internship is just saying, okay, I have this skill set, and I see that you have this stuff. Maybe for me, for instance, a multinational. I feel you have this stuff, and I have this to offer to you. I have all this skill set over the years. I have all of this certification. I have this credence and validation. I want to provide this for you, then you provide this for me. So it's just going to be a symbiosis relationship. And if you meet any company and you tell them, this is what I have and this is what I want to learn from you, these are my track records, most likely you're going to be picked. If you tell 3 companies, at least one out of those 3 or one out of those 5 is going to get you into the internship. And if you provide value, your internship is now going to be a paid internship, right? And even if it's not a paid internship, it cannot translate into a freelance opportunity where they know that you can offer a particular service and they're going to always come back to you for that service. So like I said, your first freelance gig is not about the money, it's about you building momentum and also credibility. Credibility is so important. Now, let's look at top 5 freelance services. Now, I want you to type in the comment section, tell me what you are into, whether it can be what you are into or what you plan to get into. Just let me know in the comment section. Okay, Pelumi, Wumi, I also have Samson, I have Solangi, I have Tenzins, I have Ismaila. So if you're on the chat, let me know what you are into so that I can adapt these live sessions so that it makes a whole lot of sense to you. I want to discuss 5 top tech freelance services that you can offer. So I'm waiting for your comments. Waiting for your comment. We're going to look at top 5 items, and we're going to look at the low-hanging fruit of these freelance opportunities, and we're going to look at the long term. I want to do that so that if you want to navigate your way in tech, it becomes very, very easy. So I'll give you a few seconds. Go ahead, let me know what you are into or what you plan to go into, and so that I can make the live provide context. If you've not liked the channel, make sure you do so. On the channel, I have over 20 playlists, comprehensive trainings in digital marketing. I have a complete training on digital marketing. So if you want to go into digital marketing, there's a complete playlist into that. Okay, Pelumi, you want to go into cybersecurity? Okay, let me hear from others. I have a complete playlist. In cybersecurity, I have about 6-7 playlists on cybersecurity. I have a comprehensive CompTIA Security Plus training series, 701. I have Cybersecurity Essentials from Cisco. I have Cisco Cyber Ops, the complete training series from Cisco. I have pen testing from CompTIA. I have something on threat management. I have quite a lot on the channel, so I've made them available free. Okay, I'm waiting for others. Let me know what you're into or what you intend to go into so that I can provide context to this live session. I want to be next looking at, okay, Wumi says, okay, I've been working in IT management for 14 years. I'm just learning tools such as tools used as a business analyst, project manager, product analytics. Awesome. Okay, IT project management for 14 years. That's very awesome. Now, project management is an awesome field. On my playlist, I have a comprehensive playlist on project management by PMI, and I've updated a series on the latest versions 7, that's PMBOK version 7, PMBOK 7. So you could check the playlist, you'll see a comprehensive playlist on that. Now, one way you can make yourself very relevant is also learning the tools for the skill set that you're learning. Because I normally tell my students is a game of 3, right? The first item is understanding what's it called, understanding concepts. You need to understand concepts. You need to be very knowledgeable. The next thing is that you want to be able to understand tools, techniques. Then the last thing is you want to be able to provide solution. So I call them 33%, 33%, 33%. So the first 33% for tech skills is that you must be very vast and knowledgeable in your choosing field. So if you say you're a project manager, you must understand Scrum, you should understand Prince2, you should understand PMI, that's PMP, right? Those knowledge, you should understand them and understand how it applies to IT projects. I think in the channel, I have a video that I made on the software development lifecycle and how it applies to both project managers, business analysts, UI/UX designers, software engineers, quality assurance, and everybody that is involved in delivering a project. So as a project manager, you want to manage those guys, you need to understand the entire landscape. That's one in terms of knowledge. The second 33% is that you want to understand the tools for your skill set. That's the mistake a lot of people make. Like I think just yesterday I was driving to work. I was listening to the radio and they were talking about certificate and certificates. In Nigeria, in Africa, there's what we call certificate. That's sabi, somebody that knows. Then we have certificate. So both of them must go hand in hand. Imagine an accountant that doesn't know how to use QuickBooks, that doesn't know how to use, let's say, Sage, that doesn't know how to use different accounting softwares. It's going to be very limited. Imagine a project manager that doesn't know how to use Primavera, you don't know how to use MS Project, you don't know how to use, let's say, Trello, you don't know how to use collaborative tools, you don't know how to use Excel to do your Gantt charts and all of that. So you're going to be highly limited. That's why on Saturday, we're going to consider portfolio. In building your portfolio in any field, you want to ensure that in that portfolio, it showcases these three areas. It showcases that you have knowledge, you're an authority. It showcases that you know how to use the tools. Then it showcases that you can provide value, you can solve problems. Imagine somebody that says he's a cybersecurity analyst. He doesn't know a lot of things when it comes to cybersecurity. Then he can't use cybersecurity tool sets. Then a website is hacked, a network have an issue, or somebody wants to create something and wants it to be checked upon. He doesn't know how to solve those problems. So Wumi, if you're getting into project management, you want to do remote work, one of the things you want to do is to ensure that you take care of these for three items. So it's 33%, 33%, 33%. Who can tell me, if you add these three, what do you have? You can use the comment section. If you add 33 plus 33 plus 33 plus 30, so yes, if you add 333, what do you have? 33 plus 33 plus 33. Who can try? You can use the comment section. Yes, you have 99%. Now there's 1%. I call that for God. So God, chance, luck. So even if you do everything, you're always going to be missing something. So you leave that to chance, you leave that to time, and you can always get the best. Then somebody is saying, I want to become a SOC analyst. Now, SOC is typically data and cybersecurity. Time have not permitted me to do a series on SOC. In the closest thing I have as regards SOC in my channel is Cisco Cybersecurity Operations Associate. That is the closest playlist I have on SOC. So I have comprehensive SOC training playlist that is called Cisco Cybersecurity Operations Associate. Then I have most of the labs there in another playlist. If you check the channel, you're going to see that. Before the year runs out, I'm going to do also a comprehensive playlist on Splunk. I have a lot of training materials on Wireshark and TCP view, process view, some little SOC tools on the playlist. on the channel. You can also check that out. Okay, let's get to top 5 freelance services you can offer. So the very first one is going to be web and app development. So web and app development is not going out soon. Don't forget I said low hanging fruits, then what's it called, long-term goal. So what can be, if you want to get into software development, web app development, what should be your lowest hanging fruit? It should be that you can create small business websites. You can create small business websites. A lot of companies need websites now, but this way, if you're going to get into software, you're not just trying to build any kind of website or any kind of script or application. You want to build something that can solve business problems. What do I mean by that? So in tech, there's what we call business processes. There's what we call, let's say a company is into logistics. If a company is into logistics, what it means is that they are going to be acquiring clients. They are going to be, shipping to clients. Clients will need to do tracking. So you see, all of these items, they're also going to do recruitment. They're going to do marketing. So they're going to do invoicing. They're going to do payments. So if you're a software developer, if you're a web application developer, or if you're a software engineer, one thing you're looking at is that how can I solve this business problem? So if you can solve this business problem, then you can become relevant, you can be impactful. Now your focus in your very first 6 months or very first 4 months is how to build simple scripts, simple website for small businesses. Your long-term goal is how to become a developer or a cloud developer or a DevOps engineer. I don't know if you get this very well. Like I said, for your choosing career path, you must have short-term goal, then you must have long-term goal. But your short-term goal should be complementary to your long-term goal. Your short-term goal, if you want to go into software web, it should be you can create small business websites. If you go to Google Map and you just say laundry companies in Nigeria, laundry companies in Ghana, laundry companies in Amsterdam, laundry companies in London, any city where you are in, you are going to see thousands of businesses on Google. They're already on Google Map, and that's the kind of business you want to focus on more. Why? They have made a step to do what? To list their business online, so they understand what it means to come online. I'm not talking about maybe some brick and mortar business. You can explore that, but the rule of thumb I would normally say is that look for businesses that are kind of quasi-tech or tech compliant. Those businesses who understand what it means to be online. You can list all of those business. One of the things you want to do is to demo. And that's why I tell my students, for whatever field you are into, have sufficient demo. Once you have sufficient demo, most likely you will not need to now demo to a client for you to prove to the client that you can deliver the service. Now, your skill set should be HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, WordPress, PHP, Node.js, JavaScript, Python, depending on the stack that you have chosen. On my channel, I have a playlist that addresses the full stack developer and the different stacks. So I have that on the playlist. So you can check my playlist on web design, web development. You see a video where I talked about full stack development. I explain all the different stacks, whether it's main stack, LAMP stack, main stack, that is whether you're doing Angular, whether you're doing Vue, whether you're doing whether you're doing PHP, whether you're doing Python, all of the different stack, I have addressed that. So, and if you're getting into tech and you want to do anything that has to do with cloud, you want to do anything that has to do with cybersecurity, you want to have to do anything that has to do with mobile apps, I can bet you want to start learning how to create simple websites. You want to learn how to script in any language, it doesn't matter which. Okay, the next one I'm going to look at is data analytics. Now, data analytics, it's one skill set that everybody should have. I mean, everybody, whether you're doing project management, you're doing cloud, you're doing web, you're doing software, you're doing whatever the kind of skill sets that you have. You see, data, very important. In your CV, you should be able to demonstrate that you understand what data is. Whether you're a cloud engineer, whether you're a cybersecurity analyst, whether you are a digital marketer, whether you're a web designer, somehow, you have to use data. Right? So, for those that are going to go into data, a simple service you can render is doing simplistic research. I do a lot of research that have to do with NGOs, healthcare-based organization, or persons in the academic. So for people in the academic world, they want to do a lot of research. They want to collect data, they want to analyze, they want to do dashboard. For NGOs, for healthcare providers, they want the data for their clientele or for the patients or for the research or for interventionist program, especially for NGOs. They want to be able to visualize those kind of things so that they can make insight. So one skill you want to have is dashboard creation. You want to be able to do reports. Like the last set of our data analytics students for our physical and remote classes, most of them wrote reports. When we do our live session on Saturday, I'm going to show you exactly what your portfolio should look like. If you say you're a business analyst, you should have a portfolio. If you say a data analyst, you should have a portfolio. You should have proof to show that you can deliver service. Right? If you say you're a project manager, you should have description of tools you have used, either technical tools or templates that you have used to be able to deliver your projects. You should be able to write reports of the service that you have delivered. I think on one of these slides, we're going to also consider non-technical skills for IT professionals. You see, a lot of people, they know, but they can't communicate. And once somebody can't communicate, then it's difficult for the person to convince, except for some managers that can actually look beyond the person's facial look and interaction to say, okay, I think this person knows. Maybe the person doesn't know how to present. So presentation skills are so important. That's why if I mentor students, I will normally tell them that in as much as you have the skill set in terms of knowledge, in as much as you have the tools, in as much as you have your portfolio, you should be able to do what? Present and communicate what you're doing. We had some set of students in our Abuja office, the headquarters, about 12 of them. Some of them are CWE students coming from different universities around Nigeria to take their 3 months, some 6 months internship. Some took physical, some took remote. One of the things we did before we did our class party was for them to present all of the projects they did. Those that did IT project management, UI UX design, those that did let's say software development, those that did cybersecurity. You have to create something, then you have to present what you've created. So important. So dashboard creation, so skill set like tools like Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau. Then reports, it's so important. You want to be able to present your report. Then I'm going to look at cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is another area. Now, you see, I've done cybersecurity for quite some while. And one thing I can tell you is that a lot of people say they're into cybersecurity, but they just do a lot of talking. I would normally tell people that if you say you're doing cybersecurity, I should be asking you, okay, what problem are you solving? In any tech field, ask yourself, if you say I'm a business analyst, if you say I'm a project manager, if you say I'm a cybersecurity analyst, ask yourself, if you get into a business, what problem will you solve? And once you can't answer that question, forget it. You've not started. You're going to keep learning in circles till you get to that point where you can actually solve problems. Yes, somebody says SQL Tableau. Yes, on my channel, I have a comprehensive playlist on what's it called? Excel, SQL, Tableau, and a little bit of Power BI. A lot of them are actually private videos. A lot of them are for premium students. But I have a series that even SPSS are doing research, doing questionnaire design. I have a lot of that on the channel. You can check the playlist. So if you can't actually solve problems, what it means is that you've not started in tech. So you must be able to solve problems. Once you can start solving business problems, then game, you're welcome. I cannot call you a uh, maybe a tech analyst or a tech engineer or a tech architect, depending on your level, right? So it's so important, so important. So if you say you're doing cybersecurity, very simplistic things you should be able to do is that you should be able to do a simple security assessment. If we give you a website, you should be able to analyze the website and tell us if that website is vulnerable or not. If we give you a network, you should be able to analyze. If you give you a cloud server or an application, you should be able to do the same thing. Once you cannot do it, forget about it. Like they say, if you don't get it, forget about it, right? So you should be able to do simplistic security assessment for any digital asset, whether it's web, mobile, cloud, whatever. Don't forget, you also have for every field you have non-technical areas of those fields. I think I need to write so that I can remember. We can do a session, and that session is going to be okay. I've mentioned non-technical skill sets, for top, let's say 10 IT career paths. So we'll have this session some other time. So in this session, we're going to look at all the different, or let's say top 5 or top 10 areas. We're going to look at the technical and non-technical. Not everybody will do technical cybersecurity. Not everybody will do technical project management. Nobody will do technical digital marketing or technical SEO. You can decide to say, I don't want a lot of headache. I want to stay in the non-technical side. That is perfect. That's what some people don't understand. You can choose to go into a field, go deep into a field, but decide to be in the non-technical area of that field. It just depends on the kind of person you are, on the type of. So another one is going to be, we're going to have a career clarity session. So I'm just mentioning this aside my schedule. We're going to consider them. So certification and skill set is going to be, for cybersecurity, is going to be Computer Security Plus, Pen Test, Cisco Cyber Ops, networking, cloud security. These are areas you want to consider. A non-technical cybersecurity area is digital security awareness training, right? When you just want to sensitize your audience. Okay, let me pause here. Lastly, I'm going to consider IT project management and business analysis, and I'm also going to consider digital marketing and branding. Those are the 2 areas I'm going to look at. So please let me know what you have learned so far in the comment section before I proceed. Next, we're going to be looking at where do you find clients and how do you build credibility. Use the comments, let me know what you've learned so far, and let me know what you're going to be doing after this session. Okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Let me know what you've learned so far. If you've not liked the channel, make sure you do that. Like this chat, like this session, and we'll ride on in about 2-3 minutes. Okay, I'm waiting. Let me know what you've learned so far before we ride on. Okay, Wumi says my portfolio should showcase what I can do and tools in order to add value. Okay, let me correct that. Your portfolio should show what you have done. And I'm going to tell my students the difference between what you can do and what you have done. One is in the future tense, one is in the past tense. Your portfolio should show what you have done and what you are currently doing. That's what your portfolio should have. Your portfolio should not be saying what you can do or what you hope to do. So if you look at the past, the present, and the future, your portfolio should tell 70% of what you've done in the past, 20-30% of what you are currently doing, then 10-15% of what you hope to accomplish in the future, what your goals are. That is going to be an awesome portfolio. But imagine in your portfolio, if I'm recruiting for clients most of the times, or we're doing internal recruitment, you see somebody come in and say, okay, you say, okay, what are you into? The person says, okay, just give me a second. Okay, sorry. So you're speaking with somebody that wants you to give him or her a job or wants to freelance with you. All the person is saying is in the future. It's like hope. And in tech, we don't talk about hope. We don't talk about that. That comes last. Tell me what you have done. That gives me confidence that I can engage you, and when I give you a task, you're not going to be running around on ChatGPT and Gemini and YouTube to be knowing what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. You can do all of that just to clarify or make your work faster, but not that is just when you're trying to understand that particular item. And that's why you see some persons, except it's an internship, except you're trying to learn on the job. But if it's for a task, for a job that you intend to deliver value within 1 week, within 2 weeks, within 3 weeks, within 24 hours, my friend, you have to tell me that you have done this thing before I can give you that task. How do you give a builder, an architect, to build your house? He has not built any house before. It takes luck and grace for that to happen. Okay, so thank you very much. You said, okay, my portfolio should showcase what I have done. Yes, 70% what you've done, 20-30% or 60-70% of what you've done, 20-30% of what you are currently doing. Because if you say you're a business analyst, you're a software engineer or developer, cybersecurity analyst, the last set of things you've done is 10 years ago. You become obsolete. That's why, for instance, I personally, every single year, I make sure that I run tax gigs relevant to my area of interest, and I also take certifications in my area of interest. January till today, I've taken over 10 certifications to validate the skill set I have. So you must also tell us what you are doing currently. Then you cannot tell us about what you hope to achieve in the future, what your aspirations are, what your goals are, so that the person cannot know how there can be a fit. Okay, the next person said, Pelumi said, okay, I learned that to get more clients, you need to collect social proof. Yes, very important, testimonials. A lot of people will give you jobs just because you've done it before. It's still going back to what we've been trying to address. People will give you jobs because you've done it for other persons, right? I remember some time ago, around 8 9 years ago, we were running a program, a platform online, and we had about 70 to 80 staff spread across Nigeria. A lot of people that we were engaging were trying to be skeptical about what we're doing. It was funny that I found out that some other persons, what they did on their own was to convince others that this company is legit. Reason: social proof, evidence of work. Like they say, show workings. If you don't show workings, it becomes very difficult. Okay, next thing we're going to be looking at is, where do we find clients and build credibility? Now, a very simple one is going to be, I'm going to look at local referrals, I'm going to look at LinkedIn, I'm going to look at people per hour, top 12, Upwork, Fiverr, then freelancer.com. If you just Google and say top freelancing platform, you see a huge number. Now, because these platforms are saturated, what it means is that if you need to get jobs on these platforms, back to what we've been talking about before, you must tell us that you are the best for this particular task. So let me just give you an easy way to do this. Before you start registering on Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, TopTal, any of these freelancing platforms, first have between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10 clients, either local clients or remote clients, that are from your circle of friends, from your relationship, or from your past clients, so that you can have a portfolio. When you register on either Fiverr, Upwork, TopTal, any freelancing platform, most people don't get jobs because there is no evidence. Like on LinkedIn, what you want to do is that you want to provide your portfolio, you want to provide your certifications. We're talking about tech, for crying out loud. Two things: your tech skills and your tech certification. Both of them go hand in hand. Not that you cannot get gigs without certification. You can. But we're looking at a long-term plan that makes you irresistible, that ensures that you can actually decide to quit a particular job because it's now easier for you to find another one. Right? So the rule of thumb is, first, make sure you don't miss the Sunday, the Saturday live that we're going to be having. Make sure that you have the portfolio, and make sure that you have between 5 to 10 past work that you have done. That's the only reason why you should now start registering on Fiverr, Upwork, Total, on any of all of those platforms. If you just go there, register, you get no job. I can guarantee you that. And on Sunday or Saturday, we're also going to discuss, how do you navigate, once you have your portfolio, how do you navigate to ensure that it gets the right exposure? Because that's another thing. So they all go hand in hand. One thing is to have the portfolio, another thing is to get the exposure, then making sure that it's found. So like I said, rule of thumb is your WhatsApp, your Facebook group, LinkedIn. These are the simplest. So in the next 2-3 months, you want to have between 5 to 10 clients there. Have those clients, complete them, and have testimonials for them. Once you are done with that, then you can now proceed to Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, any of these platforms. Because of the millions of persons and hundreds of thousands you have there, you have a lot of saturation. So your strategy is going to be that I have my clients coming from my local environment, then I'm going to use the digital or the online platforms to get my clients that I can just have, let's say, 1 or 2 every month, every other month. This one can be your quality and this one can be your quantity in terms of cash flow. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, you can also ask in the comment section. Now, number two, you're also going to be looking at is visibility strategy. So create a simple portfolio. We're going to address this in detail on Saturday. Post mini case studies before and after work. Everybody here, if you're into tech, you should have a Medium account. You have a GitHub account. We're going to address that on Saturday. And on Saturday is going to be not a like a live chat. Sorry, a live that's going to be on mobile. We're going to be on PC. I'm going to have some team members join us. We're going to demonstrate some stuff. We're going to showcase you some stuff. So get ready to view on your laptop, to connect using your laptop, not on your mobile, so that you can actually see demonstrations of all the things we're going to be considering. So we're going to show you sample of different portfolios and how you can also actually create your own. Then another thing you want to do is to join niche communities and contribute value. Most of us, we're in so many WhatsApp groups, we're in so many Facebook groups, but we don't provide value. I've gotten a lot of gigs, a lot of clients from groups because I provide value. So if you're in a WhatsApp group, you're just silent, nobody knows you. If you're in a Facebook group or in a LinkedIn group, or you are in social media, you're not providing value, you are not pushing and communicating your portfolio, what you're working on, nobody knows you. By the time you provide value, then people will get to know you. Even when somebody doesn't give you a particular service, the person already understands that when I need this particular service, this is the person I'm going to go to. So when that time comes, that person is just going to hit you up and is going to give you the tax. It's as simple as that. Okay, so like I said, credibility boosters are testimonials, reviews, certifications, consistent branding. Testimonials, reviews, certifications, consistent branding. Right? People pay for clarity, not complexity. People will pay you because what you're offering is clear, no ambiguity. Right? So the clearer what you have to offer, the faster a client is going to say yes. Okay, someone is asking, is there another platform where you could get clients or gig as a newbie aside from Upwork and Fiverr? So if you're a beginner, use the strategy I gave you. Right? First thing, build your portfolio. Once you're done with that, get top 10 clients within your space: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and your reels or your status for different social media platforms, your friends, your contacts. Once you've gotten up to 5 to 10, then you can now proceed to these platforms. I don't know if I'm clear. Because even as a beginner, whatever platform, if you say top 20 freelance platform, you see quite a lot of platforms. But as a beginner, you can't make it if you don't have portfolio, if you don't have social proof. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay, so now let's discuss lastly, in the next few minutes that we have, multiple streams of income. Right? I'm just going to touch it, and maybe on another live we can now discuss it in great detail. So multiple streams of income. Now, if you're into tech, how can you make money? Number one, direct freelance work. Right? A client hires you for a project. Now, if you're a business analyst, you're a developer, you're a data analyst, you want to have these 5 areas spelled out. Then you want to work on each of these 5 areas so that you optimize them long term, so that you can get revenue from each of these 5 areas. You can also decide to say you want to focus on 3 of them, or 2 of them, or 4 of them. Very, very important. Very, very important. I can't overemphasize. Now, direct freelance work. Somebody gives you a job, gives you a task, you do it, the person pays you. The second one is going to be products, digital products. I've seen a lot of accountants that have monetized their skill set. They don't work for any company. All they do is to create accounting templates and help small businesses manage their accounts. That's all. They have a template, they sell it for $10, and that's all. So every month they want to make sure that they get between 20, 30, 40 people buy that template for $10 to $20, $30. And that is a stream of income for them. Right? So for you, depending on your field, you want to start thinking, you want to start brainstorming, you want to start researching what digital products can I sell in my field, in my area. Right? So that digital product is going to be a stream of income for you. So templates, scripts, mini dashboard, all of that. Whether you're into cybersecurity, you're into data, you're into digital marketing, there are quite a lot of scripts, templates, and you can actually create yours, or you can resell if you have resale rights for them. So I've talked about direct freelance work, I've talked about digital products. Then another way you can succeed in the digital economy freelance is online courses, like for instance what I'm doing. So I provide a lot of free services. I don't think maybe in my country is Nigeria, whether you can see any channel, any YouTube channel that have the amount of free resources like I do have. At least I've not said that, but I know a lot of people have told me that. You can't see any tech platform or any tech academy or any tech consulting firm that have the amount of training resources I have on my channel in Nigeria. There's none. I think even in Africa, there's none. So aside those free materials I've provided over the years, I also offer premium mentorship, also offer premium trainings, either for individuals or for corporates. Right? So for you, for instance, you can start with your close friends. You can start with providing mentorship for people. And once you provide training and mentorship, online coaching for others, you become better because you cannot say trash. So I talked about freelance work, digital products, online courses or tutorial or mentorship. That's one thing you can do. People write me from all over the world, either for them to give me, let's say, for freelance work, or they want coaching, or they want me to create a particular service for them, or help them consult, which is another item now. Consulting. So what's consulting? Consulting is just providing your experience, what you know. Somebody was in the office today and just consulting. I want to consult you so that you can provide me guidance on how to do a particular thing. Like, okay, we said subsequently we're going to have a tech career clarity session. That is me providing consulting. Because from my years of experience, and I want to tell you, you ask a question, I want to answer you and tell you, okay, this is how to do it, this is how to do it, based on my experience and based on the thousands of persons I've trained over the years. So once you start getting to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of your career, you want to start providing consulting. So you charge for it, and that's one way you can make one of the multiple streams of income online. The next one I'm going to consider is affiliate marketing. I've done affiliate marketing a lot, and after a period of time, actually paused, I stopped it. I have a lot of my students that are into affiliate marketing. I have one that made thousands of dollars. We're getting into November now, and this is the period where you're going to have a lot of Black Friday. So this period now is going to make thousands of sales. And if you're interested in affiliate marketing, drop shipping, and all of that, you can also type it in the comment section, or you can contact me using the details you have on my channel, and I'm going to hook you up. We can put everybody in a group, and you can take those classes and and get into affiliate marketing. So aside that, affiliate marketing is just you saying, okay, I don't have a product, I don't have a service, but I want to sell for others and get a commission. So it can be manual, it can be automated. So I've just mentioned 5 items. So the first one is direct freelance work, coaching and training, tutorials, mentorship, affiliate marketing, consulting, digital products, right? Don't just chase clients. Very, very important. Build assets that's going to work for you even while you sleep. So in this age now, commuting is also a very huge concern. So you don't want to be moving back and forth. And if you start exploring these 5 items I've talked about, you now see that you no longer need to leave your house. Even if you don't get a direct client in a month or 2 months, your online coaching, your online mentorship, you can get a revenue from there. The digital products that you sell, you can get a revenue stream from there. On Saturday, when we discuss on Saturday, when we discuss portfolio, every tech person should have a mini website or a mini maybe GitHub platform or account that shows all of the things you've been doing over the years, and that's where you can now build all of these streams of income into. I, for instance, and most of my companies, we have about 20 websites. These 20 websites have all of the services that we have in tech, in healthcare, in agro, in technology services, in real estate, in all of that. So if you're just starting, you want to have a simplistic website that is going to showcase the services that you offer. Because if you are offering any service, you want to segment them so that people can know, okay, if I need this service, this is what it is, and this is the amount I can pay for it. If I need this is it, this amount I can pay for it, and all of that. Okay, like I said, don't just build clients, build assets that work for you while you sleep. Okay, a recap is going to be that we've looked at freelancing, we've looked at making sure that you start a particular service, the importance of building your portfolio. We're going to look at portfolio more on Saturday. Um, Building credibility, making sure that you have your clientele. Then lastly, we discussed building multiple streams of income. So make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be having another session tomorrow. Once I put up the session is going to be around, let's say, 9 or 9:30 thereabout, depending on how my day goes. Then tomorrow we're going to look at another very important session, and if you have questions currently as regards the session we looked at today, just ask your question. Today we looked at freelancing in tech services, clients, and multiple streams of income. So if you have a question, you can ask. Let me also know what you've learned today in this session before we call it a day. I'm waiting. Let me know what you've learned. Don't forget to invite others. If you attend these sessions for the next 30 days, I can bet you will make a lot of impact in 2026. So I'm preparing a lot of my students, a lot of my mentees for 2026. So let me know what you've learned. We've spent the last 1 hour, 8 minutes discussing freelancing, tech services, multiple streams of income. Let me know before we go. I'm waiting. Questions, let me know what you've learned. If you have questions, let me also know. Waiting. If there's anything you want us to discuss in subsequent live stream, you can also drop it in the comment section. I will take note of it. Okay, in the absence of questions, in the absence of comments, we call it a day. See you guys tomorrow. Let me see if I can, let me check my schedule to see what we're going to be discussing tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be discussing, just a second. So yesterday we discussed how to start tech career without overthinking. That's what we looked at yesterday. Today we looked at freelancing in tech, services, clients, and income streams. Then tomorrow we're going to look at we will look at, let's say, three core tech areas. Then we'll look at the certifications in each of those areas. Then we will look at the free certifications in those areas, and we will look at the paid certifications. I will look at that. I will consider that. So we're going to look at 3 to 5 areas in tech. We look at the free certifications and the paid certifications for each of those areas. This will help us further so that we can now build our portfolio. That will be on Saturday. Okay, thank you very much. See you in the next live session.